Also live on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. So join us live and be a part of this wonderful interview now. Today, we're going to be talking about hair care. Mondays, we love to do beauty. We love to dive into that and find out ways to how you can actually enhance it in ways that are so beneficial for you. So we're actually going to be chatting with a young entrepreneur from Durban who has been creating waves across South Africa with this unique product offering that treats the thinning of hair and hair loss. Remember, for women, our hair, I can't even limit it to women, for urban women and men as well, as many do experience problems with their hair. So definitely this segment is for you, so stay tuned. Good morning and welcome to Urban Women.
Good morning. Thank you very much for having me in today.
I'm going to allow you to introduce yourself, hence I didn't say your name, right? So tell us who you are exactly. I mean, you hitting waves across South Africa, and also more about yourself in this business.
Sure. So my name is Rishan. I am the sole owner and manufacturer of a company called Urban Hair Care. So what Urban Hair Care basically does is we manufacture an all-natural hair care tonic that has been through several years of medical tests and trials. And to our amazement, it's actually now being medically approved here in South Africa.
Wow. Medically approved.
Absolutely.
Well, that's absolutely great to hear. So what motivated you to actually start this whole journey of this hair product? And tell us the story about Urban Hair Care Tonic. And I'm sure a lot of people will actually want to know your background as well.
Yeah, so it all began experiencing a family member who was going through cancer, and living with this person under the same roof, you are able to notice exactly what they're going through, like when they look at themselves in the mirror, early mornings, late evenings. And when you stay with the person, you generally know exactly who they are and exactly what they are all about. But through the stages, like from stage 1 to stage 2, stage 3, and stage 4, what I've established is that the entire personality and demeanor started to change.
Right.
Because of going through hair loss. I mean, I used to look at the person looking at themselves in the mirror. And this was someone who was a strong man. He was tall. He was fierce. People used to fear him. And he would always be very upfront and straightforward. Like if he sees something that's out of place, he wouldn't wait. He would tell you then and there, Exactly. And through the stages, as his experienced hair loss, it kind of dropped his confidence. He became a different person. Like he wasn't the same strong person anymore.
Right.
And when I've noticed that, I said to myself, this is what needs to be addressed, because it's not just cancer, it's not just the illness, it's the hair
so
loss.
Much more.
Absolutely,
yes.
Absolutely.
You think it's just my hair, but that's why people spend so much on their hair, right? In fact, they will spend more on their hair than doing the inner work as well, like more on
Correct.
the outside. But of course, if you look good outside, you feel good. But look at that. I mean, it's just something like that you're saying. Knowing he had cancer was one thing, but how it also affected the self-esteem once the hair started to fall off. So what would you say, Rishan, then makes Urban Hair Care product different from any other hair care product that's out there?
I understand that there's a lot of competitors in the industry, right? The difference here is that we've taken the time to perfect this formula. I mean, we've created this formula. We've sent it through so many years of medical trials and tests, and we had a number of patients that we've tested it on. I mean, you're looking at different age groups, different races, different, type of hair losses. So when we talk about hair loss, it's not just hair loss. There's different forms. So what makes this so special is that we got the chemistry right.
Okay. Well, that's great. So then what makes Urban Hair Care Tonic formula so special then?
So in a nutshell, I've always heard people say they've tried, as an example, right? They tried using onion,
right?
To grow their hair.
Yes.
Or some people would say we tried to use garlic
Correct.
to grow their hair.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't find the same person saying that they've used a few things combined. So what we've done here and what makes this formula so special is that we found the relevant ingredients that work so well together, and we've got the chemistry on point. I mean, if you want to talk about cooking, right? You take all your ingredients to make a lovely curry and you put them all in the pot. But what happens if the stove is off?
Correct.
You're not going to get your desired results. So with us in this industry, in the manufacturing and the chemistry behind it, is we've managed to find the set temperatures and the set quantities that need to be combined to make such a wonderful formula.
Okay, well, I suppose that makes sense now that you put it in an analogy that we can understand when it comes to cooking. So now you spoke about ingredients, and my mind is only wondering: are they oil-based things that you're talking about as well?
No, it isn't. So our formula is water-based, which allows everything in that bottle to be absolutely absorbed into your desired area, that you are applying the product. So we have your vitamins and your minerals and everything that's derived. It does not come from an oil, but however, it comes from our natural ingredients, such as like your plants.
Okay.
You're looking at your leaves, your roots, your peels, things like that.
Understandable. Okay, so then you're saying water. So if we apply, does it give us that wet look?
Not at all.
All right.
Not at all. So when you apply it, you're not applying it directly to your hair. You're basically making parts on the scalp, or even if like you need to use it anywhere else, you apply it to the skin or the scalp, and you simply massage it in for at least 2 minutes just to get the blood circulation going. And you'll notice that it actually gets absorbed. It'll leave it dry.
Okay, understandable. So then does one have to wash their hair first before applying and then wash after? What's the whole procedure?
So the procedure behind this is you basically stick to your daily routine. I don't expect women especially washing their hair on a daily basis. I understand if guys out there use like maybe these other products on their hair to set their hair or to style their hair and things. Yes, maybe you do your washing on a daily basis. But for the ladies, no, not at all compulsory. You more than welcome. Stick to your daily routine. I would suggest once in the morning, or alternatively, you can even use it twice, morning and afternoon.
And how long do we keep it on for? Just apply and leave it?
Well, once you apply it and you massage it in, everything gets absorbed. So you don't even need to rinse anything off. You just keep it and go about your day.
Right. And also, how often then should one be using this?
When it comes down to the usage, I would say, look, it depends. It varies from person to person. So if you are experiencing something minor like thinning of hair, I would say once a day should be suitable. However, if you are experiencing a much severe case of hair loss, where you're getting bald patches or your hair is falling out in chunks, I would strongly suggest twice a day, morning and afternoon.
Okay, so here's a message coming through from my listener, and Nasreen Isak. She says, how long to see the difference? So we're getting there. And also, how much is the tonic and where do we get it from? Okay, we're going to answer all those questions, right? So before we dive into Sister Nasreen's question, I just want to know, because we have a lot of men that actually listen.
Yes.
Like I have clients that come to me and I also often wonder, how did you hear about me for my healing? And like my husband listens to your program. He said I must go. So talk to us. Is it only for men, or for women, or for basically anybody that is losing hair, basically?
Yeah. So when it comes down to that, when we created our formula and we sent it for our medical trials, we had a list of different individuals. We had males, we had females, we had different age groups. Excuse me. And what I can say is that it is not particular made just for a woman.
Okay.
So this is a unisex product, because I do have the guys who also buy from me, and what they do is, because the tonic can be used across your body, they use it on their beards.
Okay.
And if you guys can see me, I personally use it on my beard because I couldn't grow a beard.
Here's the results.
Yeah, these
you
are
couldn't
the
grow a
results.
beard.
I could not. So one of the common things with guys growing beards is that, yes, you grow it from like the top of your cheek to slightly below, but what you find is on either side of the chin,
Patches.
you get a bald patch on either side.
I have cousins like that. They beard
Very
doesn't
common.
grow properly. Yeah,
Very
they have
common.
patches.
Yeah. So that is absolutely common amongst the guys. I know that people try to find ways in how to, overcome that. Some of them just grow the beard long enough to cover it up.
Mm-hmm.
But when I received my medical approvals and the certificate, I said to myself, prior to me putting it out there on the market and talking about it, I need to physically see the results for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically what it is.
So this is very interesting, right? And listeners, I think you're probably wondering that generally we don't hear like a one size fits all, because we know the men have the issues, like
Yes.
men who go to gym generally have increased testosterone levels, and so that affects the hair loss.
Yes.
What about them? Would this product be good for them?
So this product would work for them, yes, absolutely, because we are not changing their testosterone levels. We are
Okay.
simply dealing with the root cause, which is the hair follicles. So regardless of your testosterone being too high or too low, this hair tonic is going to reactivate and stimulate those hair follicles. Wherever you think that you're going bald or you're already bald, it's going to activate it.
Right. And then it brings me to our urban women now, because we touched on the men and what affects them. Women also have hormonal imbalances and thyroids that affect their hair loss,
Yes,
right?
I'm aware.
What about them? So does urban hair tonic then assist them or affects the imbalance or hormones in any way?
So when it comes down to the females, thyroids, yes, that's one of it. The second one is also PCOS, very common amongst the females, right? And this can become a very sensitive topic because not a lot of them like to speak about it or, admit that this is what I'm going through, even if they do see a doctor and stuff. But what I can say is that the tonic will assist you with obviously re-stimulating and growing back the hair. Even the cause of that that leads to thinning of hair, because that is just the first stage. Your hair becomes very thin, you get a slightly receding hairline, and after that, if it's not dealt with, it eventually leads to hair loss, and then you find your patching and so forth. But I would strongly suggest start using the hair tonic from day one. The moment you identify this is what you're going through, and you can actually avoid putting yourself in that situation where you're going to lose chunks of hair.
Absolutely. So now we understand that it's for both men and women.
Yes.
And I know as women, basically our hair thins. So this tonic will also help for that.
Absolutely.
So there's a message coming through wanting to see a pic of this tonic. Please, can I have that bottle? You know what? I'm going to show you. I'll send you a picture, Sister Nasreen, and I'll put it up on our status. But also, if you're watching us live on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, here we go. Here's a bottle. Beautifully packaged, I must say. It's got a lovely feel to it. Looks very classy and elegant with gold. Urban Hair Care Hair Tonic, the solution to your hair loss. Here you go. So you just spray it. Make your hair in parts and spray it, and
Yes,
that's it. It's
you
as
spray it
simple as that.
onto your desired area, whether it's your scalp or your face, your hands, your legs, basically anywhere across your body that's supposed to grow hair. You can use it there, but you got to follow it up with a 2-minute massage using your fingertips. Do not use your nails, because remember, guys, nails carry bacteria.
So let's give them some good news. Stay tuned. And if you missed this whole segment, go watch the replay. Next week, we're going to ask you a question, and the one who gets it answered correctly will give them this. How's that? You happy with that,
That's
Vishan?
fine.
Okay, so we're going to give it away next week, Monday or next week, inshallah. You have to just stay tuned to Urban Women. So now I'm just laughing because I'm listening to you. I can see the visual of the product. Yes, it's a liquid. And I'm thinking, okay, it stimulates hair growth, right?
Yes.
So if I apply it, just say it drips. Lo and behold, his hair going to start growing everywhere.
Funny enough, I get that question quite a lot, especially from females, because their main concern is obviously the facial hair.
Yes.
But just to clarify, if the tonic drips down, leaks onto your sideburns, your cheeks, or anywhere else, no, you are not going to grow hair there. So the hair tonic, the Urban Hair Care Hair Tonic, is stimulated with the 2-minute massage utilizing your fingertips. So if you're not going to massage the places that it's dropped onto, you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Just wipe it up or wash it off. Simple.
Okay, so basically then that's the correct way to use it. You got to massage it, remember, and if not, just wipe it off, and it's as simple as that. Now, I know there's many people that probably will say, look, it's genetic. It's in my family. What would you say? Can this tonic then help them?
Yes. So in line with that, I've actually dealt with previous clients or patients that have had a whole history of hair loss from their great grandparents to their grandparents to their parents. And then eventually what happens is when they reach a certain age, they automatically start going through the same trend.
Mm-hmm.
But what the tonic does is, remember, the hair loss that's caused by your genetics, it's a lack or a deficiency in the vitamins that your hair requires,
Okay.
right? That is what hair loss is. It's obviously something that you are lacking. So what the tonic does is, because we have so many vitamins and natural minerals in there, you got your vitamin A, B, C, D, G, H, amino acids, D-panthenol. These are all the nutrients that
Berry
your hair
extract,
requires.
Jamaican berry extract. Let me just add to what you were saying.
Yeah.
Right? Aqua.
It's water.
It's water.
So what it does is it replaces and replenishes anything that you're falling short on.
Okay,
So
makes
even
sense.
if you've been going through this whole line of genetics where hair loss is happening by a certain age, like let's say age 30,
Yeah.
we stop that as of today. We put a stop
Wow.
to that with the tonic. That's
Right.
how potent and powerful this is.
So you don't need to feel helpless, like, oh, it's just, part of my hereditary, it's part of my DNA. I can't do anything about it. You know what?
Precisely.
I have a client actually, female. She's got such bad alopecia that she's actually bald till about here.
Mm.
So all of this, right? And basically there's nothing that has worked for her. And the scary thing is, I think her daughter is starting to notice a bald patch here.
Mhm.
And of course, naturally is getting so worried. So with this, I know this will probably help her daughter, but what about her with such balding? I mean, up until you're not a strand of hair.
Yeah. So what you're showing me now is actually a specific type of alopecia. When it starts extending your forehead, or so to say.
Yes,
because
yes.
it starts falling off from the front of your hairline, and then you lose your hairline and it starts receding.
Yes.
That is called traction alopecia. And that's
Okay.
usually caused by tying your hair too tight,
Uh-huh.
or the pulling of your hair. Like if you brush too hard, or you're washing it, or you go to certain salons that either pull too hard or tie it too hard, including weaves and braids,
Okay.
right? So weaves and braids also make your hair pull against your hairline, and that's what basically causes traction alopecia.
Not
However,
hereditary.
That is not hereditary.
Wow.
That is traction alopecia. So as I mentioned earlier on, there's different types of hair loss. There isn't just hair loss in a, like one example. There's different types and different causes. So you get your traction alopecia, which is the pulling of the hair. You get androgenic alopecia, which is the patching.
Mhm.
You get alopecia areata, which is an autoimmune disease where your immune system is basically fighting off your own hair follicles.
Wow.
So all of these different forms and different types of alopecia, we've had it in our medical trials, and we've had
Fantastic to
success.
know. Fantastic
Yes.
to know. I'm definitely going to share your details with them, because, I mean, if you can help somebody with something as drastic and as major as hair loss to this level, it can be life-changing.
It
And I think
is,
that's
it
the thing.
is.
We all take pride in our hair. I mean, even though we Muslim women, we wear hijab, but at the end of the day, we still take pride. We still, at home, you still want to look good, you want to feel good, you want to be healthy, and that includes our hair. Now, if you had to just sum up due to time, in a few words, what would you say about your Urban Hair Care Tonic?
I would say, in a few words, Urban Hair Care Hair Tonic is a miracle in a bottle. This, I mean, it's a once in a lifetime thing that happens. You don't find things like this just, happening here, especially here in SA. I mean, we are known to be like a third world country. And I know of people from like the United States and things that met me and said to me, you know what, we don't even have this in USA.
Yes, opportunities for you.
Yes, absolutely. But prior to me stepping out of here, I mean, I feel it's my duty to obviously bring this to our local communities and say to people, look, this is what is here. It's available. It's affordable. You don't have to pay an arm and a leg.
So coming back to here's another message coming through. Assalamu alaikum. I have lupus and I'm experiencing hair loss as well. So this could also help them.
Yes.
There
So
we go.
regardless of whatever the cause is, hair loss is hair loss. It's got to do with your follicles that's being deteriorated. And with the tonic, what we do is we replace those vitamins that's dying off.
Okay, that makes sense because everything we need obviously is the correct vitamins in the correct what can I say,
Quantity
and used correctly.
Absolutely.
And things like that. Okay, so thank you so much. It's been wonderful chatting with you. I think our listeners are very excited about your product. If you're looking and you're joining us live, or you're going to watch the repeat, here's the bottle of the Urban Hair Care hair tonic that we're talking about. Absolutely wonderful feedback and results. It is medically approved as well. Rishan is chatting with us in the studio. People want to know where can they purchase it from, price, things like that. And there's another message comes through that they are in Johannesburg and they see this as a wonderful business opportunity. They would love to connect with you. Share all the information as we wrap up. So many questions coming through.
Okay. So if you are based in the Chatsworth area, you can find the Urban Hair Care hair tonic at the Alpha Farm at the Aisha Center. That is next to Oven Delights in Chatsworth. Alternatively, if you are in the Overport vicinity, you are more than welcome to come down to the Al Ansar bookshop.
Yes.
They do have stock here. They're actually going to be getting it tomorrow. So anytime from tomorrow, the stock will be available on the shelf. And if you guys need to get in touch with me or order online or discuss any other future business opportunities, my direct cell phone number and WhatsApp number is 072 198 1291. I'll say it one more time. 072 198 1291. For those of you that are out in Johannesburg or Cape Town, you might want to know, do we deliver? Yes, we do deliver nationally. So you are more than welcome to go onto our website and also buy online. The website is www.urbanhaircare.co.za.
I'm busy smiling to myself here because our listeners are not shy. They just say it as it is. So the message says, please give us a bottle so we can try and advertise it.
Yes.
So you know what? We'll give you a bottle if you answer correctly next week. How's that? So it's going to be open. Remember, there's so many of you wonderful, awesome listeners. Urban Women, Urban Hair Care. So there we go. We'll be giving away a bottle next week. Watch this replay. Watch this live. Get some info. We'll ask you a question based on this interview next week. And let's see who can actually win this bottle. Definitely you'll be starting 2025 on a very wonderful high note. It is time for a break. As we can see, Tobeka is indicating. But Rishan, it's been wonderful connecting with you, chatting with you, finding out about this wonderful product. And I think it's going to enhance many people's lives and probably the solution to many as well. Until then, goodbye and have yourself a lovely day.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Urban Woman brought to you by Checkers Foods, Cowie Park. Halal certified by the NIHT.